Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be day 3. Day 3 Doom Tower. Another raid Shadow Legends video. Let's go. Let's do it again. So day 3 means another new boss. As you guys know, I'm fighting my way through hard. And today we should get to the Scarab King, which I'm really looking forward to. It's the first time we've had a boss who has like a significantly different requirement for strategy. So I did say this a while back actually, that I felt like there was going to be a boss that would come out that needed you to reduce his max HP based on some of the champions they were kind of adding into the game. And that's exactly what they've done with the Scarab King. The only thing with it is some of the champions that they've released that should be really strong here, like Rotus, like what's his name, Skull Lord, they don't work against the Scarab King. They don't work against bosses. So I guess I don't love that. I don't love it. If they've got an ability that reduces max HP, then I'd say let it work anywhere. Like, I get it doesn't work against clan boss, but against a boss like this, I feel like their abilities really, I mean, they're legendary champions. Their abilities should be made for this type of content. So I don't love that they kind of exclude a champion from this. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to burn our way through these waves again. I don't think we're still kind of at that stage that I'm using full offense. Yeah, me kind of moving towards stage 30. I'm not even really having to check my team. I mean, I could be going for some of these best time sort of stuff, which I'll probably do on stream tonight. So if you guys want to kind of check in and see how we're doing with that, that should be a lot of fun on stream tonight. I'm also going to be pulling, actually, the rewards for the last few days from the calendar from the website. So I am going to be pulling the rewards for day 6, 7, and 8. I've got all of the lists, so we're just going to do it live on stream. And then also for today, the winner will get a personalized Twitch emoji, which we are going to get developed for you. So whoever wins tonight, and it's going to be drawn on Twitch from someone who's there. This is going to be like a live draw. So all you have to do is get to Twitch tonight. It's Hell Hades TV, and I'll link that below. And one person will win a Twitch emoji. We've not done it before. I think it's quite a cool thing to do. So that emoji will forever live in my channels, and it in some way will represent you if you win. But as I say, kind of join in any day you want, 1 through to 24 for this month. And for everything that you enter, you get another chance to win an account takeover at the end of the month. We're also massively kind of updated the tier list and stuff as well. So for anyone who's kind of keen to see what's been going on, we've now got a much more complete page. We've added champion type. We're adding in Doom Tower, literally champion by champion in my free time. So it's building, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be too long before we start doing the final tweaks and stuff like that. But it feels like here, you know, the waves are comfortable still, not really too much of a struggle. I'm sure, as I say, when I get onto Twitch tonight, we can kind of start to see if we can find ways to burn through these a bit faster. But pretty comfortable so far. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip us on to the actual boss, and then I'll start talking through some of the different dynamics of the Scarab King, what I'm looking for in a team, and some champions that I think might be, I guess, unheard of, that could be completely OP for this fight. So let's get through to the boss. So guys, let's move on to the Scarab King then. So if you want some more information about this stuff, there's a Doom Tower header on my website, and you can go into Doom Tower bosses like this, and we can kind of scroll down and talk about the bosses individually. So I'm a bit zoomed in on here so you can see it properly. But basically, Borgoth the Scarab King, always force affinity. This is really important, and actually for me, it's quite disappointing, because a lot of the mechanics you need for this boss, they have champions that do them that are magic affinity. So it's one of those. It's a bit like when you've got the Fire Knight and they keep releasing champions that are magic affinity and Fire Knight 20 is force. This is kind of similar. Now, as we see it right now, every single time Borgoth is in the is going to be faced is always force. Now, I'm not sure if in a future month that changes. I don't think it does. I feel like they've set the boss's affinities. They're going to be the same. So we need to deal with getting past that, basically. Okay, so let's talk about what he does then. Borgoth the Scarab King. There's a few kind of major watch outs with this boss. So what does he do? Attacks all enemies, places decreased attack and decreased speed on you for 2 turns. Places an extra hit on enemies with no shield buff. The extra hit will place provoke. So there's a few things here. You can out-resist a lot of these debuffs. You can't stop him placing extra hits unless you have got a shield on your team. Immunity set does work against things like the decreased attack, decreased speed. So does things like block debuffs. So block debuffs, I think, is pretty strong here. Shield is clearly majorly strong. It's like essential, not just strong. It is essential if you don't want to get wrecked. Next one, AoE. Places an extra hit on each enemy for each buff on the target. So that's a bit of a watch out as well, because I've just talked about having things like block debuffs on your team. Often, a champion that's placing block debuffs places extra buffs on you as well. So take someone like a Duchess, take someone like a Grizzled Jarl. They're placing a couple of buffs, at least 2 or 3 buffs. So you're going to take extra hits for each of those buffs on you. The extra hit steals 1 random buff from enemies that have no shields. So again, shield is crucial. And removes 1 random buff from enemies that do have shields. Okay, so they can do things like steal that block debuffs off you. Maybe you need lots of buffs, to make sure that you've got a good chance they're not stealing your block debuffs. Places True Fear for 1 turn on enemies who have had buffs stolen, and a Fear for those who have not. So the Fear and True Fear starts coming in. I really feel like high resistance is a strong tactic here. High resistance to out-resist all of these extra things, all of the extra debuffs that are coming on you, but shield is essential. If you've got high resistance and shield, you haven't got a lot of buffs to steal, you've got the shield to stop him doing all those extra hits, and you're not going to take all of those debuffs. So I feel like when we get higher up and you're not just kind of blowing your way through the content, that's going to be the way people go. We've also got this passive, so decreases the damage he takes unless you steal some of his max HP. So the other big steal here is decrease enemy max HP. And the damage he takes increases until you get to the point where you've stolen 30% or you've decreased his HP by 30%. And at that point, you will be able to go full ham damage. Now, even actually between 20 and 30%, he's only got a 30% damage reduction, which isn't that much. So I think once you've stolen 20%, when you get to higher levels, you can probably start going crazy on him. What does this mean? It means that Destroy Set suddenly has got a place in the game, and a pretty essential one. It means that some of those champions with decreased enemy max HP are now pretty strong. And to give you an idea, if I go to a different page of the site, on any champion page like this, you can go into, let me just, so yeah, on any champion page like this one here for Warlord, you can go into, just down the bottom here, champion skills. So you can go into, I think it's an instance, enemy max HP. So it's an instant ability in the game. And basically, if you click instant enemy max HP, it's going to take us to a bunch of champions that can all decrease enemy max HP. Now, there's actually not many. There are not many in the game, firstly. And if you think about, we've got like one rare here in what's his name, Purgator. And Purgator's actually a magic affinity champion, so he's straight out. He's going to get wrecked. Cagebreaker might suddenly have a place in the game. Dark Elhain is kind of good here, but again, magic affinity. So I think later on in the game, that weak affinity is going to cause us trouble. Jarl, I think, is generally good here. Block debuffs, decrease enemy max HP, but again, he's magic affinity. Jotun, I think, is good here, but the wrong affinity. So you can start to see that we get slim pickings to do this job. Skull-Lord's ability doesn't work. Rotus's ability doesn't work. And neither of these work on bosses. I fed that back in and said that needs to change. if you're going to put a boss in the game that is all about decrease enemy max HP, and these two are strong champions for it, then they should be allowed to use that ability. Even if it just says in the text, only available on Scarab King or something, fine. Richthof, I think, becomes pretty much MVP here because he's also bringing poison. Annie, Ethos, Blood Twin, all very strong. Very strong for this. However, when we get later into the game, I think they're probably too squishy. To build them right and to get it done, I think they might be too squishy. We'll see. We'll see as we progress. But what that makes me think is the champions that do this in the game, pretty much all will struggle to do it. So we actually get to the point where Destroy Set becomes really critical to put it on someone that will do that job for you. So I feel like Destroy Set's going to be really, really strong. If you come and check out this page, you can see some of the kind of different selections that we've kind of suggested. The other thing we've said here is that, like, good shield champions are, and then we've got like Draconis, Metalshaper. So Metalshaper actually is solid for this. He's a good affinity, strong affinity. He has got a shield ability which is on a 2-turn cooldown if you book it out. I don't actually have this guy yet, which is frustrating. I've been pulling Ancients trying to get this guy for the last week or so in preparation. I've not managed to find him. I've had him in the past, I just fed him. But the value of shield is proportional to this champion's level. His shield's not that big. It doesn't even matter. You just need a shield. The shield does not have to be, like 3/4 of your health, Sonic type shield. It just needs to be on. Yeah, so this ability is the best in the game in terms of cooldown. A 2-turn full team shield cooldown. There's no better champion in the game for recycling this skill fast. So, and his rest of his kit is not too bad either. Still a random buff. Well, I think the boss steals buffs from you. Does he steal buffs or just take them away? I think he steals buff. So you might be able to steal it back. Removes all debuffs from an ally and heals them. Is also pretty useful here. Places increased defense on them. So I feel like for a rare, this guy is MVP for this boss. Other good ones, Draconis, Mother Superior, Valerie in terms of like low end. And then obviously you've got like your hopes, people like Sir Nick, Miscreated Monster, the usual crew, Warlord, someone like Dark Seer would be very good here, block debuffs and shields. So there's a ton of legendaries that are good here, but in terms of lower end champions, there's way fewer. I've said here as well, because of the negative affinity problem, Affinity Breaker set may actually be incredibly good for someone like a Jotun or Dark Elhain as you get later on in the game and you're trying to use that decrease enemy max HP and try not to get weak hits. So that's just a little kind of tip as well. Anyway, let's get into this fight with my team and see what I can do. Just want to say, guys, I've played around with this team, which I was going to show you at the end of the video as a kind of second tier team, with someone with decrease enemy max HP with an ability. So I'm decreasing like 1100 with his actual ability, with Grizzled's actual ability, right? And I figured that would be the strongest way to do this. It's really not. It's really not. So I've now put Armiger, my only destroy set I own. He's in it. Watch how much more. So we did 1100 with Grizzled's ability that is made to do this versus Armiger in destroy set. There's no decreased defense or anything. Watch this. 3.5k. So just to throw it out there, destroy set is way stronger than the abilities which do the same job. Way stronger. 5 people in a destroy set is the way to beat this boss, or 2 or 3 people in a destroy set, plus a bunch of people that, look at that, 9k, plus a couple of people that kind of just come in and support. Don't go with trying to put out, so I'm trying to concentrate at the same time here and it's not going well. Don't go with trying to find champions with that decrease enemy max HP skill. Even the strong bob ones, even the real strong ones, are nowhere near as strong as the set. So, I'm coming in here and I'm just laying in even with a weak kit, 4.5k, it's tons stronger than not using Destroy Set. So we have got absolutely a new meta of what to use against this boss, and it is 100% Destroy Set. You'll see I'm going to play on with what the rest of my video was going to be, showing you some of my strong champions that do it quicker than this, to be fair, but showing you some of my strong champions do this, and you'll see the difference between what they do and what one person in Destroy Set is doing. So I'll finish this off, and then I will show you the video in a different order than what I was planning to, because I found this out after I'd done a bunch of runs earlier on with my strong team. And this is tons stronger. I literally have got one set of Destroy Set on my account. I'm going to be farming Dragon for the next few days because we're facing this guy again soon, and he's only going to get harder. But look how quickly we've got that down in comparison to trying to use champions that actually do the skill. What's sad for me is that that skill had no place in the game until now. It had 0 place in the game. All of a sudden, it's got a place in the game, and it's way weaker than someone in a Destroy Set, which for me is a bit of a shame. Anyway, you can see here I easily do this, not a problem at all with this team. So I'm going to finish this off. You can see how quickly we've done the destroy piece. I'll finish this off, and then I'm going to show you what I was going to show you originally. Now, I'll just show you this one rounding off as well before we get into the big boy teams, because of just how strong you can see. Basically, it's Armiger. Armiger has just been strong because he's in my Destroy Set. See you later. And he has done 470k in Destroy Set versus all the other low bobs. But this is quite a good example of a team here that could come and do this. Draconis, Valerie together. OP shield extenders. Armiger, OP. Grizzled actually was a bit underwhelming, but his block debuffs and increased defense is kind of okay. Apothecary, good. So Grizzled out, someone else in Destroy Set in, and you've got yourself a team of low bobs beating hard Scarab floor 30. So I'm pretty lucky. I've got a Nifui who, to be honest, hasn't had a lot of playtime for me. He is good, but not top draw in terms of damage. He's got a block revive, which is awesome, but he doesn't do the sort of damage that a Foley does or a Trunda does. So although he looks awesome, he doesn't have that much usability in the game until now. Now he is Mr. Big Boy. Decrease the target's max HP by 30% of the damage that he does. So he's coming in for one of my decreased damage champs. I've also got Ethos. So I am super lucky to have 2 of the big smackers that can do it. Ethos does it by 15% on his A1. So I'm going to be bringing those 2 in to do my decrease max HP. I'm going to be bringing in, I think, Warlord. I've got Warlord and I've got Blind Seer. Both of them are top tier here. Both of them absolute top tier. My Warlord's built. It's the reason why I'm thinking to put him in. But Blind Seer, I've actually got her as a high resistance Blind Seer right now. So she could come in with a little bit of tweaking and do the job as well. So I've got Warlord. I've got Sonic, who I'm going to be bringing in as a shield champ. Warlord as a shield champ. So I've got two damage dealers. And then I'm just going to bring someone in as like a drop defense and weaken champ. So I think for the level we're on right now, I can probably, a bit like I have done with the other levels, just kind of smash my way through it at this stage. But it won't be long before that starts to get a bit old and they start smashing back, to be honest. So you see this, I mean, where else have we got to the point where, we're getting the voids out. The voids are coming to town and having a party. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool that we're needing to get to that sort of level. So I'm going for these 5, all voids. All void legendary champions. You know that it's big boy sauce when you're doing that. I think I'm going to go attack aura here. As we progress through the game, I think this aura, ally resist, becomes really, really big. But let's go in. I won't auto it. I'm going to manual my way through the waves. The waves should be easy. Level 130, it's no problem. I'm actually going to hold on to his drop turn meter ability. I think that's going to be pretty awesome for the boss. I'd imagine it works. Can use one shield there. We're going to cycle back around anyway, because I'm not using any of my big stuff. Just try and take a couple of these big boys out. So we can go AoEs because he's basically going to be doing A1s for me. So here we go. First look at the boss. Question 1. No, I'm just going to put shields up. Play it safe. Shields are going on so that he doesn't do his main abilities. Let's get drop defense and weaken out there. Nice. Don't need to use that shield yet. I don't need to throw any more buffs on yet, so we're just going to go A1. Not really hitting for anything. A1s then with these fellas that do the decreased max HP. It hits for a lot, actually. So, although we're hitting for 7k, his max HP must be pretty low. We're getting a bunch of extra turns here, which is really good as well. So he outran, look at that. He outran his shield, which is a bit of a nightmare. So he took a ton of damage out of that. Now we're going to go A1 here and just drop some more max HP. Took a big hit. Look at that. We're down to, I don't know, maybe I've done 10% already. So we're starting to get some hits off. We've lost Ethos already. That's harsh. So we're going to go try and drop turn meter. I don't know if he's just immune to it. Let me just check if it says anything here. He may be immune to it. So he straight up counterattacks if I don't have a shield on as well, which is why I lost so much health there. I think he might be immune to turn meter stuff. I'm not sure. HP burn on. Let's get a fresh shield on because we're about to outrun it on some people. You can kind of just see how crucial those shields are. Big whack here. I'm seeing up here this little purple bar. I'm guessing when that gets to 0, we're full game hitting him as hard as we can. I'm guessing that's what that means. Shields are getting low. I might just get up some extra buffs because we're not going to re-shield here. We are resisting a bunch of stuff though, so that Warlord aura already is doing quite a lot of work for me. Starting to counterattack. Let's get our shields back on. Don't need that one yet, so just hits. Hitting for a lot now, see that? A1 again. Decrease a bit more. We're getting further and further up. Let's just test this again. It's not a 100% chance to do this, by the way. It's only a 50% chance. So, okay, we did drop his turn meter. Good. So he is susceptible to turn meter stuff. That's really good to know. But also bear in mind that he doesn't even care necessarily about his turn meter because his counterattack's one of the nastiest things about him. The counterattack is a real nasty point. So she is not going to get countered here. She's got a shield on. Anyone who goes next would do if I didn't reapply a shield. Don't need that yet. Just smack in. And this is going to be job done. But this gets harder. So he's now fully open to damage. This will get a lot harder as we go through the game, for sure. But it feels like turn meter control is going to be huge. Decrease enemy max HP, huge. Shields are essential. And block debuffs is probably pretty nice too. So there you have it, guys. I mean, I switched up the order of my video just because I felt like that destroy set find was essential for people to know earlier on. This is what I've ended up as my kind of auto team. We've got Valerie, Warlords, the 2 big boy Neefwees, and then I've got my only destroy set on Armiger. Now, eventually, I'm just going to get more destroy sets going and farm this up big time. So I'm in the Dragon for the next few days, getting destroy gear right the way through my guys for this fight. Everyone who's going to be in this fight will be using destroy gear. Fact, no matter who they are. Don't try and build out champions specifically because they've got the skill, decrease enemy max HP. It's useless compared to destroy gear. Make sure you bring shields in, and you should be absolutely fine to take this bad boy on. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. 3rd boss down, 3 days down. Still absolutely loving Doom Tower. Hope you guys are as well. Come and catch me on stream later. We've got all those giveaways to do. And, we have some general antics anyway. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.